Now we've seen it all weather-wise this week for certain, and we're back into the heat. Jeff Hogan, thanks for making us part of your routine.
And I'm Ken Smith. You know, we're not going to worry about the weekend. No. Enjoy the pleasant conditions we have right now. Let's get back to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner tracking it all for us.
Yeah, plenty of folks out here in Pinehurst at Pinehurst Resort and Country Club. Of course, lots of bright skies, looking beautiful all across the viewing area. Our dew point has dropped into the 60s. It's in the now, but may fall a bit as we get into the afternoon, making it feel slightly more comfortable. It's not really comfortable feeling like fall by any means, but a little bit of a drop in our humidity today. We've warmed into the mid-70s officially in the Triangle. It's 73 right now in Southern Pines and Pinehurst, 74 in Rocky Mount, still 68 degrees in Roxborough. So fairly comfortable out there currently. We're seeing clear skies across our lunchtime. We'll see those big, pretty puffy cumulus clouds that develop. Most of us will stay dry. Lingering boundary that's near the South Carolina line, and there may be a disturbance that develops along for some isolated showers or storms from Southern Pines through Fayetteville and Clinton and possibly Rayford. But whatever happens today is likely to stay in our counties that border for the most part South Carolina. Our temperature at lunchtime in the mid 80s, and we do climb into the low 90s, so it is going to be a hot afternoon. In the shade, it won't feel quite as oppressively sticky as it does sometimes. Like this weekend, we're going to see our humidity really climbing. We'll see triple-digit heat indices. I'll show you when we could be under a heat advisory.
You know, we're seeing new aerials this morning showing the growing destruction and heartbreak in Hawaii after fires. This is a flyover showing what's left of the historic town of Lahaina after those wildfires left hundreds of homes and businesses in ashes. Here's what we know this morning. In an update around 4 o'clock this morning, officials in Maui County confirmed 2 more deaths from those wildfires. That brings the total number of people who have died to 55. Hawaii's governor calling this the worst in history. Dry conditions and strong winds are making the situation even worse, making rescue efforts a major challenge. We're expecting an update today on the aftermath from Maui County around 3 o'clock our time. WRAL's Laura Levine explains disaster responders from our state are headed to Maui.
As the deadly wildfires continue to rage on in Hawaii, hundreds of miles away, people here in Raleigh are trying to support. The American Red Cross of NC tells us they are sending 6 disaster responders to provide aid to locals and tourists in need. They plan on water and assessing damage along the way. A spokesman with the organization says the greatest need is those who have been displaced.
So we've actually opened up multiple shelters, and within the first couple hours, we've seen thousands of residents take advantage of those shelters.
And those disaster workers plan to Hawaii for about 3 weeks. And of course, if you're at home wondering, how can I support? Over to WRAL.com, where we have a full list of details on the resources and ways that's going to be connected to this story. Laura Levine, WRAL News in Raleigh.
And also back here at home, breaking news. 2 people were shot early this morning in Goldsboro, a neighborhood there where police were on the scene, Rockefeller Court, for almost 6 hours. Michael Grace was there in the WRAL where police had that area very well blocked off.
Yellow investigators picking up the rest of the evidence markers just before 17 this morning, and we now know 2 people have been shot and both in serious but stable condition. I want to get you to this video from the WRAL News Tracker. You can see a number of evidence markers on those shell cases across Alabama Avenue here on the northwest side of Goldsboro. Officers say they got the call at around 1:15 this morning. When they arrived at the 100 block of Rockefeller Court, they found inside his vehicle who had been shot. He was taken to the hospital. They later found out that another victim was brought to the hospital with a personal vehicle. Again, both of those men in serious condition at this time at ECU Health Medical Center. Now, though police wrapping up at the physical location, this is an ongoing investigation, so we're going to continue to follow up with the public information officer out here in Goldsboro to see more updates about this shooting. In Goldsboro, Michael Grace, WRAL News.
We're also continuing to learn more about a scary scene at a Raleigh McDonald's where witnesses say a driver tried to yank 2 employees through the drive-through window at the McDonald's on Trawick Road. 9:30 last night. The witnesses say the employees were able to get away and nothing was stolen. No one was hurt. Raleigh police had the entrance and exit to the restaurant taped off while they interviewed people there inside. There's no word on if any arrests have been made.
This morning, the Wake County Sheriff's Office will honor Deputy Ned Bird in a private ceremony. Today marks 1 year since Bird was shot and killed in the county. Bird stopped to investigate a truck on the side of Battle Bridge Road on August 11th of last year. He was shot 4 times. Brothers Arturo and Aldous Marin Sotelo are charged with his murder awaiting trial. Well, you can honor Deputy Bird during free Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and self-defense tomorrow. It's happening from 10 to 2 at PNC Arena. Bird practiced Jiu-Jitsu, and several of the instructors who trained with him will be there. On Sunday, you can join the second Ned Bird Memorial Triathlon. It starts at 9 o'clock in the morning at Iron District CrossFit in Raleigh. It includes CrossFit, Jiu-Jitsu, and mountain biking.
School supplies are essential in getting kids ready to go back to school. And today, the Durham Rescue Mission is helping families in need prepare by giving away school supplies party. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey was there this morning. She tells us how this event is so important. Success.
The Durham Rescue Mission will be packed with children and families who are back to school season. Volunteers showed up before 4 o'clock this morning to prepare for hundreds of students. The students who come to today's event will receive a free backpack full of every school supply: pencils, papers, pens, and notebooks. They will also get a $25 gift card for back to school clothes.
You can see the effects of what you're doing, right? You know, I'm here, I'm working, I can speak. What else wouldn't I be happy about with that?
The president and CEO of the Durham Rescue Mission, Rob Tart, says the number of children who come to their giveaway has increased each year since COVID.
It's hard to fill up a tank of gas right now and go to the grocery store. And then your kid needs all these things for school. I want to help those single moms and single parents that are out there that are struggling.
So if you or someone you love has a child that's in need and needs some school supplies, you can come here today starting at 10 o'clock this morning. This isn't just a giveaway, it's a party. It's all about these students having fun. They've got games, activities, and a whole lot of barbecue. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Durham.
Attorneys from both sides and the federal President Donald Trump over his 2020 election will be in court this morning. They will be discussing a protective order that would prohibit Trump from talking about confidential evidence in the case. The order would violate his right to free speech. Well, Special Counsel Jack Smith is on record saying he wants the trial to begin January 2nd, 2024. That will be just days before the Iowa caucus. It says the trial would last about 4 to 6 weeks, which would take Trump off the campaign trail in the critical early weeks of Republican primary voting. Trump's team has until next week to give the court its preferred start date for that trial.
Hollywood writers and studios are headed back to the negotiating table. The strike that has canceled our favorite TV shows and movies put them all on hold. The Writers Guild says it is ready to reach a deal and get back to work, and it is hopeful the studios will respond to the proposals. Today's meeting will be the first between the two sides since last week, which was just a talk about resuming talks. Film and TV writers have been on strike for more than 100 days, demanding more streaming residuals and higher pay.
Well, drivers in Wake Forest need to be aware of some road work that caused some delays. Crews will be working today and tomorrow and Monday on the NC-98 bypass near Ligon Mill Road. That will cause lane reductions from 9 to 4 tomorrow and 9 to 4 today, 10 to 1 on Monday. Drivers should stay away from the area if they can to avoid backup. Time now, we're coming up on 8:40. Well, it's not the typical end of the summer for one North. Well, that's not what she was expecting. Coming up, she recalls the moment she was struck by lightning during her job at the pool.
It was shaking our car and blowing signs off, peeling roofs off of the houses, and it was wild.
We hear from travelers at O'Hare International Airport, thankful to be safe and home today after visiting.
And as we head to break, we're going to give you a live look now at the WRAL Azalea Garden this morning. We'll check back in with meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner for an update on how hot it will. Conditions are rather pleasant right now.